Hello and welcome back, I'm Trainer Weefs, and today in our series of how to play Pokemon Go for beginners, I will be telling you about raids. So what is a raid? You've probably seen, if you fire up your game in any kind of populated area, you'll see pop-ups during the day that say something along the lines of, "A raid is starting nearby." You'll also see in the bottom right of the screen where you click to see the Pokemon, there's a section labeled raids. That shows you the nearby gyms where a raid is happening. Now the way to recognize that a raid is happening is you'll see an egg hovering over the gym with a timer. When the timer runs out, the egg will pop and a raid boss will come down and take over the gym. That means you can't battle any of the Pokemons in the gym, you can't change ownership. The only thing you can do there is fight the raid boss and spin for items. The reason you want to fight gyms is that you get good rewards like large amounts of XP and golden raspberries and TMs. And if you beat the raid, you also get the opportunity to catch a level 20 version of the raid boss. There are 6 different types of raid. Tiers 1 through 4 are randomly drawn from a pool of Pokemon that changes over time. Tier 1 and 2 are generally soloable. If you have any kind of decent team, you can do those by yourself. 3 and 4, you'll probably need 2 or 3 people to do them. Tier 5, however, is reserved for legendary Pokemon. There's usually only one type of Pokemon that hatches from Tier 5 raids, and for that, you're gonna need a team. You can look at the egg color to figure out roughly what tier it's going to be. Pink eggs will be tier 1 and 2, yellow eggs are tiers 3 and 4, black eggs are legendary, so tier 5. Now the 6th and final tier of raids are X raids. These are invite only, and I'll go into how to get invited to one of those later in the video. To find out exactly what tier is going to hatch, go to the gym, just click on it in your map. Click on a button in the bottom left-hand corner you'll see in the gym, and that will show you a close-up of the egg. Above the egg, you'll see either between 1 and 4 symbols. 1 symbol means a level 1 egg, 4 symbols means a tier 4 or level 4 egg. This chart, created by a player, shows the current raid bosses as of May 2018, and gives you a rough indication of how many people in your team you'll need to beat the boss. So how do you actually fight in raids? Well, to fight a raid, you need a raid pass. You can get a free raid pass every day by going to any gym and spinning the photo disc. But you can only carry one free raid pass at a time, so you gotta use it in order to get another one. The way to get around that is to buy premium raid passes if you want to do more than one raid per day. Those you can get from the shop, so they will cost you coins which you can earn by taking over gyms, or you can spend real money. To actually use the raid pass, you go to the gym, and you click on it while the raid is up, which you'll know because you'll see the boss with a timer on it rather than the egg. You'll get a nice animation when you go in, and then you'll see 2 buttons. One big green one that says battle, that's to open up a public raid lobby, and then a little bit of text underneath that doesn't actually look like a button, but you use that to set up a private group, so that's if you only want to fight with specific friends. Click on either one of those, and you'll be prompted to spend the raid pass. Hit the raid pass, that goes in, and that gives you access to only this raid. If you fail to beat this raid, that's your raid pass spent. You'll have to get another one if you want to do another raid. If you beat it, great! The thing is though, if you do fail, that's okay, because as long as the timer is still running, you can just go in again and again and keep fighting. When you do beat the boss, great! You get a bunch of rewards, you can get golden raspberries, TMs, XP, stardust, all the stuff like that. And you also get the opportunity to catch a version of the boss. Level 20 if it's not weather boosted, level 25 if the weather is favorable for this particular boss. The thing is, how well you did in the raid actually affects the number of balls you get to try and catch the boss with. Because you can't use your normal Pokeballs, you have to use a set of premium balls that you get given at the end of the raid. There are 3 things that go into that. How much damage you personally did in that raid, whether or not your team has control over the gym, and how much damage your team as a whole did to the boss. So if you are a minority team, chances are you'll probably have fewer balls. If you own the gym, you can get and do really well, you can get up to 14 attempts at catching. The raid boss never runs away as long as you have balls, so you don't have to worry if it jumps out. However, it is guaranteed to run away after you've thrown your last ball if it breaks out. So you still want to use things like golden raspberries or nanabs or things like that to try and increase your chances of catching. So the next question is, how do you actually prepare for raids? Well, in my deep dive into Pokemon video, you can see how various different factors go into how much damage your Pokemon will do. So that covers things like base stats, type advantages, same type attack bonus, and other factors you can use to choose your Pokemon. Much like when you're doing a gym battle, for a raid, the game will suggest a team for you. Again, that team will prioritize survivability as well as damage. So more often than not, you'll find a bunch of Pokemon in there that you don't necessarily want to use. Ones that have very high type resistance and not much attack, or ones that are just very high defense and tanky all over, and again, not much attack. So you want to get rid of those, and if you're targeting a specific type of Pokemon, you can actually set up a specific battle team. When you're in the raid countdown, if you swipe to the left, you can scroll through all your battle teams that are set up, choose one of them. Now, in order to set up battle teams, you go to your Pokebag, and then the tab on the left is battle teams. Click on that, and you can pick up to 6 different Pokemon, put them all on your team, give it a name, and it's all set up and ready to go for battles. Now, you need to be aware of a couple of things here. 1, if you have a Pokemon that is unconscious in your battle team when you go in, it will still go in, and then it'll just collapse and come right out. So that's time wasted that could be spent using something else to attack. The other thing is, if you put a Pokemon in your battle team into a gym, then it gets taken out of your battle team. So ideally, you want to have a bunch of separate defenders for gyms, and keep those separate from your attacking battle teams. The final type of raid you'll get in Pokemon Go is the X-Raids, the exclusive raids. Now these are invite-only raids, and they are at specific gyms at specific times. So if you miss the window, you've missed your chance to catch that Pokemon, you'll have to wait for another invitation. But how do you actually get invitations? Well, these are... Niantic hasn't given out the specifics of how they send out raid invites, but the Pokemon Go community has worked a lot to try and identify the factors. And it seems to boil down to do raids at the right gyms at the right time, and you're in with a chance. So the first thing you need to do is go to your local Pokemon Go community and find out which of your local gyms are X-Raid eligible. Then every time you see a raid there, and you don't have to do all the raids, but when you're available, if you happen to see a raid at that place, go do it. That should put you, or that has a greater chance of putting you in the pool to get an X-Raid invite, and then you might be able to get a Mewtwo. I hope this helps explain the raid system a little bit better and why you should be doing them. If you liked the video, please hit the subscribe and the notification button and or the thumbs up. If you have any questions, anything you want explained further, or any future topics you'd like me to cover, I am on Twitter as Weefs, or you can just drop your comments below and I will make a video when I have enough questions that will answer them. Thank you very much for watching, and happy hunting!